Hey, welcome back. The sale of an illegal man-made drug lands in civil, not criminal court in Dallas. Lawyer, former prosecutor, and police officer Pete Schulte here to discuss synthetic marijuana. The marijuana crowd goes crazy when we say that's not synthetic marijuana. it's a hallucinogenic. That's a, you know.
Right, but it's funny is that the
cover that up.
Yeah, cover it. But it's funny the penalty to possess it is the same as marijuana. Okay,
right.
under 4 ounces is still a misdemeanor.
Right. It's a hallucinogen. It doesn't do the same things as marijuana. It's extremely dangerous. Widely called K2. Has a lot of street names. Why did this land with the Attorney General's Office of Texas in civil, not criminal court?
Well, go where the money is, right? So the Attorney General's Office in the state of Texas doesn't have any independent criminal jurisprudence. So in other words, unless the DA's office invites them in, they're not going to have jurisdiction over these type of cases. So what they're going to do is under the Deceptive Trade Practices Act in Texas, very broad, so what, we're going to go back to the owner of these stores and try to shut them down so it stops. And so I look, there's no criminal cases against the owner in Dallas for distributing this illegal substance. It's against the law to sell it.
It is a crime to sell it, but nobody's going to jail.
Well, nobody is because it is. If a clerk sells it, it's not the owner of the shop that's getting arrested, it's the clerk. So how do you go and so the Attorney General's office says, you know what, we're going to take the Deceptive Trade Practices Act, we're going to try to shut down the owners of these stores so they can't sell it.
Now, it's a novel idea, and certainly going against the economy, going against the bank account of the owner can be very, very effective. This is the same law, the Deceptive Trade Practices Act, that I would use if I were sold a bad car by a dealer, right?
Right. So basically what they're saying is that you're selling this stuff, but you're not putting a government warning on it saying this stuff can cause brain damage, it can cause hallucinations, and by not doing that, they're selling a fraudulent product. It's really very, the irony is incredible on it, but it's good for the Attorney General's office.
Right. An imaginative use of the civil law to get a crime off the streets.
Yeah, and so they also do these injunctions about these agreed injunctions, and everybody knows that an injunction is to prevent somebody from doing something. And so they build in these agreed orders because in this particular case in Dallas, the $40,000 that was an agreed order by the Attorney General's office and the owner of the store. So basically, if he violates it, it's civil contempt. It's all about money. So again, there's no criminal aspect to it.
The criminal prosecution would normally be in the hands of the Dallas County District Attorney. This was a store in Dallas, in southern Dallas. Why was the place not criminally prosecuted? Look, if I'm a convenience store clerk and I sell a 15-year-old a six-pack of beer, I'm going to jail. If I sell anyone this dangerous substance, I'm not going to jail?
Well, you're going to get arrested, but a couple things have to happen first. So this event happened in January. Again, I looked on Dallas County records. There's no crime charged against the owner of the store. I don't know who the clerk may have been, but they've got to go to the lab. They've got to get tested. But if you look at the jury system in a lot of counties in Texas, they're going to look at this and go, wait a minute. If we charge the corporation, that we can charge corporations with crimes in Texas, but if we charge them and go to trial, they're going to say, well, wait a minute, can you prove that the corporation did something? And then they're not going to jail. We can't send the corporation to jail. It's all about money. So what the Attorney General's office is trying to do is to take the criminal component out of it, use the Deceptive Trade Practices Act to say you're not doing the appropriate warning and go that route versus trying to charge corporation with a crime.
To punish them economically.
Correct, and that will help. But there's so many stores that are selling it. I mean, they have an uphill battle to try to stop that, but it's a start.
And certainly sends a message.
Yes, sir.
Pete Schulte, thanks.